Alright mates, how's it going? In today's video, chapter 30 of Illidan by William King. Longest book ever, but it's a pretty amazing book, so I don't mind. Let's go! Maiev was kinda out of breath, because she'd just killed a whole bunch of demons, but she felt pretty proud of herself, due to the fact that she'd closed the portal and stopped the seemingly endless hordes of reinforcements from coming through. And she did it all by herself. However, that sense of pride was soon replaced with dread when she sensed a familiar pulse of energy surge from deep within the temple. 'Twas the same energy she'd felt on that fateful day at the hand of Gul'dan. Somewhere, the betrayer was doing it again, opening a massive portal and using souls to do it. Was he summoning some new demon from the depths of the twisting nether, or simply planning to escape? Either way, she wasn't going to let that happen. Meanwhile, Vandel watched as the weird Batman lady on the battlefield below talked to herself. He recognised her from the tales he'd heard. Maiev Shadow Song. She was supposed to be locked up. Akama must have freed her, the little asshole.
Come to me now, my demon hunters.
Illidan's voice echoed in Vandel's head. 'Twas a summoning on a primal level, and along with the summons came the knowledge of exactly where Vandel needed to go. So he picked himself up and raced towards his destination. Somewhere deep within the temple, potent energies stirred, and Vandel recognised them. The gate was being opened, but to where, he didn't bloody know. Had Illidan finally opened the path to Argus? Guess he'd find out soon enough.
To me, demon hunters.
Alright mate, I'm moving as fast as I can. Vandel knew at his core that he needed to get to Illidan as soon as physically possible. It wasn't just fear that drove him. It was an overwhelming feeling that if he failed to get there fast enough, he would regret it forever. That somehow, he would not achieve his destiny. So on he raced, as the angry mighty roar of Supremus echoed through the temple, as if the Abyssal was engaged in combat with roughly 25 people or something. Back with Maiev, who was currently following the trail of corpses that Akama and his mates were leaving in their wake. As she glared around, her eyes caught something bloody weird looking. A demonic figure that seemed to be in quite a bit of a rush. And Vandel froze as he saw Maiev Shadowsong staring at him. Demon spawn! Prepare to die! Suddenly, Maiev was no longer where she had been, and Vandel could sense a disturbance behind him, so he quickly flipped away. I don't want to fight you. But Maiev didn't give a shit. She studied the creature before her. Looked a bit like Illidan, although slightly less monstrous. He had tattoos like his master. His skin was scaly. His eye sockets empty. He lacked wings and hooves, but there was still something undeniably demonic about him. He may have been an elf once, but now he was an abomination. Maiev then aimed her blade and attempted to strike at her foe again, but he flipped to one side. Stop! There's no need for this. I will not fall for your trickery, monster. The Umbra Crescent swept towards Vandel once more, and again, he did a flip. I'm not your enemy. We're on the same side. You serve Illidan. We're obviously not on the same side. I'm here to fight the Burning Legion, not other night elves. You have fallen for Illidan's old lie. It is not a lie. I've slaughtered demons by the hundreds. I will slay more for as long as there's breath in me. That will not be for much longer. Maiev then lunged with the speed of a mongoose, and Vandel sprang clear just in time. The demon within him was like, attack her you dickhead, but he fought the urge to counter. The Burning Legion seeks to destroy all who live. We need to stand united against it. You will be united with your demon masters in death. Another swipe from Maiev's blade caught Vandel on the cheek, slicing it open.
Kill her. It is you or her. She will not let you live.
Vandel would have liked to deny it, but he knew the demon was speaking the truth. There was no reasoning with this maniac. She wasn't about to let him run away, so his only option was to face her. He summoned a bolt of fell energy and sent it racing towards his foe, but the warden parried it effortlessly. Bloody hell, only Illidan and his highest lieutenant should be able to do that. It was at that point that Vandel realised the objective here wasn't to kill Maiev, it was to survive against Maiev. Maiev then unleashed a ferocious razor-edged whirlwind of attacks, and it took everything Vandel had to avoid them. There was absolutely no chance for him to launch an attack of his own. She was too fast and too strong. His muscles ached, and it felt like his arms were going to pop off. So he started to backpedal away, but the demon within howled its protests. It didn't want to cheese it, it wanted to fight and kill. So Vandel allowed its power to flow into him, and then the metamorphosis happened. He grew in size and darkness, and the tables were turned. He struck at Maiev again and again and again, and as he caught Maiev off balance and she fell on her ass, he aimed another bolt of fell energy at her. However, Maiev then drew on the light of a loon, used her blink power, and vanished. And before Vandel could say, what the balls, something sliced his arm and then hit him on the head, and it bloody hurt. Vandel fell to the ground in agony, and the last thing he saw was his boy Cariel, looking really disappointed.
thus will your master fall too.
Meanwhile again, Akama entered the refectory. His new friends from Azeroth had already slaughtered most of the opposition within, and were now engaged with the shades that Illidan had drawn from Akama's own spirit. To anyone else, it would have just looked like his evil shadow, but he knew it was made up of every bit of wickedness that had ever been in him. Every mean and petty deed. Illidan had freed him of that in a way, although he had taken part of his strength with it too. It was that darkness that had driven Akama to master magic, and forged him to become a leader of his people. Akama then realised this shadow was part of him. He needed to reclaim it if he was to have the power to do what was needed, and lucky for him, the shade was weakening under the onslaught from the champions of Azeroth. So the Ashtong leader started to weave a spell. He drew the energies from the spirit into himself and brought it home, and for the first time in a long time, he felt whole again. Another meanwhile, Maiev stepped over her fallen foe and raced forward. She had no time to waste. As she entered a massive hall, she saw some Ashtong broken hanging about. Where is Akama?
Deeper within the temple. He seeks to put an end to the betrayer.
Good, then I shall go and help him. And we're leaving it there! Okay, so the next video is the ending to this book. Not the end of the story though, but you can now pretty much jump straight into Legion with a new character in game, so do that if you want. As usual, link in the description if you're interested in buying this book. Also there's links to my Discord server and my Patreon page too. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, all of that bollocks. And all that's left to say is, thanks for watching, and see ya!